When you think of Africa, what comes to mind? Lions, khaki safaris, maybe a few tired stereotypes? Let's toss those cliches aside. Africa is a vibrant, innovative, and diverse continent, far more than a single story. The Africa I know is full of energy, humor, and resilience, not just headlines or old movie tropes. This is your invitation to see the real Africa: ancient kingdoms, futuristic cities, snow-capped mountains, and sun-soaked beaches, all in one place. So open your mind, forget the old map. Let's explore a billion stories waiting to be heard. Ready? Let's talk about Africa. First things first, Africa is not a country. It's a continent, and a massive one. 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, and a mosaic of cultures that shift dramatically from Lagos to Lalibela. Imagine calling all of Europe, China, and the US one place. Sounds silly, right? That's what happens to Africa all the time. From Afrobeats in Nigeria to coffee ceremonies in Ethiopia, every nation is a world of its own. Africa's diversity is its superpower, a symphony of voices, traditions, and stories. No single African experience exists, just endless adventures. You could spend a lifetime exploring and still only scratch the surface. Africa is the cradle of humanity, our shared starting point. The oldest human fossils, found here. Ancient innovations, also here. Africans pioneered math, medicine, and architecture long before the world caught up. Today, Africa leads in mobile banking, solar tech, and creative problem-solving. From the pyramids to M-Pesa, this is a continent of thinkers and creators. Africa's legacy isn't just ancient, it's shaping the future right now. Come see the birthplace of civilization and the engine of tomorrow. Africa's landscapes are wild and varied. Think snow-capped Kilimanjaro, the fiery Danakil Depression, and the lush Congo Basin. Glaciers on the equator, deserts like the Sahara, rainforests teeming with life. Nature here doesn't stick to one theme. The Nile, the world's longest river, and endless coastlines with pristine beaches. Africa is a land of contrasts. Each environment shapes the people and cultures that call it home. Forget the single savanna image. Africa is a library of landscapes. Every corner is a new surprise. It's a place where nature's imagination runs wild. Africa's wildlife is more than just lions and elephants. Meet the shoebill, a bird with a stare that could stop you in your tracks, or the pangolin, a scaly, elusive mammal. Dive into Lake Malawi, home to more fish species than any other lake, or explore Madagascar's lemurs, found nowhere else. From chameleons that change color to dung beetles navigating by starlight, Africa's animal kingdom is full of surprises. The real magic? Discovering the weird, wonderful creatures beyond the big five. Every animal tells a story about the continent's wild heart. Look closer, and you'll see a world of wonders. Africa's greatest diversity is its people, a mosaic of thousands of ethnic groups, each with unique traditions and stories. From Maasai warriors in Kenya to the San of the Kalahari, every community adds a new thread to the continent's tapestry. Fashion, art, and music blend ancient roots with bold modernity. Think Lagos runways and Benin bronzes. Culture here is alive, evolving, and everywhere you look. Travel Africa, and you're not just seeing places. You're meeting people with dreams, humor, and resilience. The true heart of Africa, it's in the symphony of faces and voices you'll encounter. That's the real story waiting to be heard. When people think of Africa, they often picture rural villages. While those are an important part of the continent's fabric, let's not forget Africa's cities. These are not just administrative centers, they are booming, buzzing, chaotic, and creative hubs of energy that are driving the continent's future. Africa is one of the most rapidly urbanizing regions in the world, and its cities are some of the most dynamic on the planet. Forget any outdated images of sleepy towns. We're talking about megacities like Lagos, Cairo, Kinshasa, and Johannesburg, each with millions of people and a rhythm all its own. Lagos, Nigeria is a perfect example. It's a megacity that runs on pure, unfiltered energy. The streets are a vibrant symphony of yellow Danfo buses, bustling markets, and the constant sound of Afrobeats music spilling out from every corner. It's a hub of creativity, home to the Nollywood film industry, the second largest in the world, and a thriving tech scene that has earned it the nickname Silicon Lagoon. Life in Lagos is fast, intense, and incredibly exciting. It's a city that embodies the hustle and ambition of modern Africa, a place where anything feels possible if you have the drive. Then you have a city like Cape Town in my home country, South Africa. It's a city of staggering natural beauty, nestled between the iconic Table Mountain and the sparkling Atlantic Ocean. It has a more laid-back cosmopolitan vibe with world-class restaurants, beautiful vineyards just a short drive away, and a vibrant arts and culture scene. but it's also a city with a complex history, where you can visit Robben Island, the prison where Nelson Mandela was held, and see the colorful houses of the Bo-Kaap neighborhood. It's a city that forces you to confront the past while embracing a vibrant, multicultural present. From the ancient, sprawling metropolis of Cairo, where millennia of history meet the chaos of modern life, to the cool, creative vibes of Accra in Ghana or the high-altitude efficiency of Nairobi in Kenya, Africa's cities are where the continent's future is being forged. They are centers of innovation, culture, and commerce. They are places where you can find world-class art galleries, Michelin-starred chefs, and groundbreaking startups. So when you plan your trip, don't just think about the safari. Make sure you spend time in Africa's urban hearts. That's where you'll feel the pulse of the new Africa. When you think of the wealthiest person in history, Mansa Musa should come to mind. This West African emperor who ruled the Malian Empire is considered the richest person ever. His wealth was so immense that historians struggle to put an actual number on it. His fortune came from Mali's enormous production of gold. The empire controlled over half the world's supply. His pilgrimage to Mecca became legendary. He gave away so much gold that he single-handedly caused its value to plummet, triggering an economic crisis. Mansa Musa used his fortune to transform his empire into a leading center of learning and culture. He constructed mosques and universities that still stand today. Mansa Musa shatters the stereotype of Africa as historically defined by poverty. The richest man in history was an African king who built a legacy of knowledge and culture. Africa has given the world brilliant things that you probably use every day. Let's start with your morning coffee. You can thank Africa for that. Coffee was discovered in the highlands of Ethiopia, but Africa's contributions go far beyond beverages. The continent was a powerhouse of mathematics and science. The Ishango bone, found in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is one of the earliest pieces of evidence of advanced mathematical thought. Then of course there's ancient Egypt. The field of medicine is another area where ancient Africans were true pioneers. They paint a picture of a continent that has always been at the forefront of human ingenuity. It was, and continues to be, a source of groundbreaking ideas and innovations. Africa's intellectual legacy is all around us. This next fact might be surprising, especially given the images we often see on the news. According to the Global Peace Index, Africa is actually more peaceful than you think. Many African countries are ranked as more peaceful than some nations in Europe and the Americas. Countries like Botswana, Ghana, and Mauritius consistently score very highly for their stability. Of course, this is not to say that the entire continent is free from conflict. There are serious challenges in certain regions, and those stories need to be told. However, the international media often focuses exclusively on these problems, creating a distorted perception. It overshadows the countless stories of progress, resilience, and cooperation. Africa is not a monolith of conflict, but a continent of immense complexity. It's time we started paying more attention to the stories of peace, stability, and reconciliation. Let's end with a few quirky facts that prove how full of surprises Africa is. First, penguins. Yes, penguins in Africa. Boulders Beach, outside Cape Town, is home to a large colony of African penguins. You can walk along a boardwalk and watch these charming birds waddling along the sand. It's a surreal sight, a classic Antarctic animal chilling on a sunny African beach. Africa is the only continent crossed by both the prime meridian and the equator, meaning it has land in all four hemispheres. There are 3 known exploding lakes: Lake Nyos, Lake Manoon, and Lake Kivu. Did you know that the world's smallest chameleon is found in Madagascar? The Brookesia nana is so tiny it can comfortably sit on the tip of your finger. It's a reminder that Africa's wonders come in all shapes and sizes. Africa's calendar is packed with festivals, an explosion of color, music, and tradition. One example is the FESPACO Film Festival in Burkina Faso, the largest African film festival on the continent. Or the Timkat Festival in Ethiopia, a visually stunning Orthodox Christian celebration. For something different, experience the Garawal Festival of the Wodabi people, a unique beauty pageant where men compete to be judged by women. From the Calabar Carnival in Nigeria to the Pan-African Music Festival, the continent is always celebrating something. Time your trip with a festival for an unforgettable experience. If you want to understand a place, you have to taste it. African cuisine is as diverse and exciting as the continent itself. There is no such thing as African food. There is Nigerian food, Ethiopian food, Moroccan food, and so on. Each country has its own signature dishes, flavors, and cooking traditions. And yes, The great jollof rice debate is just the tip of the iceberg of what the continent has to offer. Down in southern Africa, we have the tradition of the braai. The best way to experience these flavors is often on the street. African food is a story told in spices, a history shared across generations. It's bold, it's comforting, it's communal, and it's waiting for you to take a bite. When travelers think of Africa, their minds often jump straight to a safari, and for good reason. Witnessing the Great Migration in the Serengeti or tracking gorillas in the mountains of Rwanda is a life-changing experience. But I want to encourage you to look beyond the national parks because some of Africa's most breathtaking destinations have nothing to do with spotting the Big Five. These are places of incredible natural beauty, history, and culture that offer a different but equally profound kind of adventure. They show you a side of the continent that is often missed in the traditional travel brochures. Take for example the island of Zanzibar off the coast of Tanzania. This place is pure magic. Its historic stone town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a labyrinth of narrow, winding alleyways, ancient stone buildings with intricately carved wooden doors, and bustling bazaars. It's a place where African, Arab, Indian, and European cultures have mingled for centuries, creating a unique Swahili identity. After exploring the history of the town, you can head to the island's pristine white sand beaches, where the turquoise water of the Indian Ocean laps gently against the shore. It's a place to get lost in history, and then find yourself again on a perfect beach. Now, let's head inland and south, to the Victoria Falls, which straddles the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. The local people call it Mosi Oatunya, which means the smoke that thunders, and when you see it, you understand why. The Zambezi River, over a mile wide, plunges into a deep gorge, sending a colossal plume of mist high into the air that can be seen from miles away. The sheer power and scale of it are humbling. It's not just a waterfall, it's a force of nature that you can feel in your bones. It's a reminder of the raw, untamed beauty that exists on this continent. For a completely different kind of natural wonder, journey to the Avenue of the Baobabs in Madagascar. This is one of the most iconic and surreal landscapes in Africa. A dirt road is flanked on both sides by a grove of majestic baobab trees, some of which are over 800 years old. Their massive, smooth trunks and spindly branches look like they were planted upside down, with their roots reaching for the sky. At sunrise or sunset, the scene is otherworldly, casting long, dramatic shadows across the landscape. These destinations, Zanzibar, Victoria Falls, the Avenue of the Baobabs, are just a few examples of the incredible diversity of experiences waiting for you in Africa, far from the well-trodden safari trail. Africa is a continent where the past is always present. You can stand in places where history was made thousands of years ago, and then just a few hours later find yourself in the middle of a city that is defining the future. We've talked about the pyramids in Egypt, but have you heard of the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia? Further south, you can explore the ruins of Great Zimbabwe, the capital of a vast kingdom that flourished centuries ago. Now, let's fast forward to the 21st century. Africa is also a hub of stunning modern architecture and design, like the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa in Cape Town. From the futuristic skyline of Nairobi to the ambitious new architectural projects rising in cities like Kigali and Addis Ababa, the continent is building its own modern marvels. Traveling through Africa allows you to witness this incredible timeline. The most memorable moments of travel are often not the big-ticket items, but the small, authentic interactions you have along the way. It's about finding the rhythm of a place and connecting with the people who call it home. Africa offers endless opportunities for these kinds of unforgettable local experiences, moments that will stay with you long after the holiday photos have faded. These are the experiences that move you from being a tourist to being a true traveler, someone who engages with the culture on a deeper, more meaningful level. It's about saying yes to the unexpected and opening yourself up to the moment. One of the best ways to do this is to dive into the local markets. Forget the souvenir shops. Go to the markets where local people actually shop. Wander through the Jamia El Fna in Marrakech at night, when it transforms into a massive open-air restaurant with storytellers and musicians. Explore the chaotic, sprawling Makola market in Accra, Ghana, a vibrant maze of stalls selling everything from colorful textiles and fresh produce to traditional medicines. It's an assault on the senses in the best possible way. You can practice your bargaining skills, try some street food, and just watch the beautiful, organized chaos of daily life unfold around you. Another incredible experience is to take local transport. Yes, it might be less comfortable than a private taxi, but it's 1,000 times more interesting. Squeeze into a matatu in Kenya, often decorated with vibrant graffiti and blasting loud music. Hop on the back of a boda boda, a motorbike taxi, in Uganda for a thrilling wind-in-your-hair ride through the city. Or take a long-distance bus journey and share snacks and stories with the people sitting next to you. It's in these shared spaces that you break down barriers and get a real unfiltered glimpse into the lives of the people you meet. It's where the best stories happen. Finally, consider a homestay or a visit to a community-run tourism project. Many villages across the continent welcome travelers to stay with a local family, share meals, and learn about their way of life. You could learn how to cook a traditional meal, help out on a farm, or listen to stories from the village elders. These experiences provide a genuine cultural exchange that benefits both you and the community. It's about slowing down, listening, and learning. These are the moments that build bridges of understanding. Finding Africa's rhythm isn't about rushing from one site to the next. It's about connecting with its heartbeat, one local experience at a time. Alright, so you're convinced. You're ready to book your ticket and embark on your African adventure. But first, let's talk about what to pack. Now, the classic image is of someone decked out head to toe in khaki, looking like they've just stepped out of an old safari movie. And while khaki is a perfectly practical color, especially if you're trying to blend in with the bush, Africa is a continent of immense variety, and your suitcase should reflect that. Packing for Africa isn't about creating a costume, it's about being prepared for the diverse climates and cultures you're going to encounter. You'll need more than just safari gear, I promise you. First things first, think layers. This is the golden rule of packing for almost anywhere in Africa. You might spend your morning shivering on a high-altitude game drive in a place like the Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania, only to find yourself sweating under the midday sun a few hours later. A lightweight waterproof jacket, a warm fleece or jumper, and some breathable t-shirts are your best friends. This allows you to adapt to changing conditions quickly. Also, remember that many African cities are incredibly stylish. People in Lagos, Johannesburg, or Nairobi dress to impress, so pack a nice outfit or two. You don't want to show up to a cool rooftop bar in your dusty hiking boots. Let's talk about respect. In many parts of Africa, particularly in rural areas or when visiting religious sites like mosques or churches, conservative dress is appreciated. For both men and women, this means packing clothes that cover your shoulders and knees. A long skirt, loose-fitting trousers, and a scarf or pashmina are incredibly useful items to have. A scarf is a traveler's secret weapon. It can be a head covering, a shoulder wrap, extra warmth on a chilly evening, or even a makeshift towel. Being mindful of local customs with your clothing is a simple but powerful way to show respect, and it will often lead to warmer and more welcoming interactions. Finally, a few practical bits and bobs. A universal travel adapter is an absolute must, as plug sockets can vary from country to country. Pack a portable power bank because electricity can sometimes be unreliable, especially in more remote areas. Don't forget a good insect repellent containing DEET, a basic first aid kit with any personal medications, and plenty of high-factor sun cream. The African sun is no joke. Packing smart isn't about bringing everything you own, it's about bringing the right things. It's about being comfortable, respectful, and prepared, so you can focus on the incredible experiences ahead. The memories that will stick with you the most are the connections you make with people. The real magic of traveling in Africa lies in the human interactions. These are the souvenirs that you'll carry in your heart forever. Learn a few words of the local language. Learning to say hello and thank you goes an incredibly long way. Be genuinely curious and ask respectful questions. Instead of just taking a photo and moving on, engage with the person. Finally, always ask before you take someone's picture. Simply asking, "May I take your photograph?" with a smile is a fundamental sign of respect. Let's talk about staying safe and healthy. Don't be paranoid, be prepared. Use common sense, just as you would in any unfamiliar city. Follow simple guidelines to relax and enjoy your adventure. Visit your doctor for recommended vaccinations or medications. Be smart about what you eat and drink. Awareness is your best tool. Carry a copy of your passport and keep originals locked away. Ask hotel staff about safe areas. Trust your instincts and be polite but firm. Save your embassy's contact information. These tips will help ensure your trip is memorable for the right reasons. While the famous destinations are famous for a reason, Some of the most rewarding travel experiences happen when you dare to step off the well-trodden tourist trail. Finding your own Africa is about embracing the spirit of exploration and discovering the hidden gems that don't always make it into the guidebooks. It's about being open to the unexpected and allowing yourself to get a little bit lost. This is where you find the stories that are uniquely yours, the moments that aren't part of a pre-packaged tour, but are born from your own curiosity and sense of adventure. It's about creating your own map as you go. One of the best ways to do this is to travel overland. Instead of flying from one capital city to another, consider taking a bus, a train, or even hiring a car. This is where you truly see the continent. You'll watch the landscape slowly transform outside your window, from lush green hills to arid plains. You'll pass through small towns and villages that you would never have seen from 30,000 feet in the air. You'll stop at roadside markets, share journeys with local people, and get a much deeper appreciation for the scale and diversity of the country you're in. It might take longer, but the journey itself becomes a destination. Don't be afraid to explore the second cities or smaller towns. While capitals like Nairobi or Accra are vibrant and exciting, you often find a different, more relaxed pace of life in other places. Instead of just visiting Zanzibar in Tanzania, maybe take a ferry to nearby Pemba Island, which is quieter and less developed, offering a more rustic and authentic coastal experience. Instead of just sticking to the major tourist hubs in Morocco, venture into the laid-back surf town of Tagazout, or the blue-hued city of Chefchaouen nestled in the Rif Mountains. These places often provide a more intimate and personal glimpse into the local culture. Ultimately, finding your own Africa is about your mindset. It's about saying yes to spontaneous invitations and unexpected detours. It's about talking to fellow travelers in a hostel to get their recommendations. It's about putting down the guidebook for an afternoon and just wandering through a neighborhood to see what you find. Be flexible with your itinerary. Sometimes the best laid plans are the ones that are happily abandoned for something more interesting. Africa is a continent that rewards the curious and the adventurous. So go on, venture off the main road. Your greatest adventure might be just around the corner. So here we are, we have busted some myths, shared a few laughs, and hopefully painted a picture of the continent that is a little brighter. This is my personal invitation to you. It is an invitation to come and see for yourself, to experience the warmth of the people, to taste the incredible food, to feel the rhythm of the music, and to witness the breathtaking beauty of the landscapes. It is a living, breathing, thriving continent full of stories, and it is waiting to share them with you. The real Africa is a place of profound complexity and beautiful contradictions. So consider this your official welcome. The door is open. Africa has something for you. It is a continent that embraces them. The real adventure awaits you on the continent itself. We want to look beyond the negative headlines that often define Africa. Focusing only on problems paints an incomplete picture. For every story of hardship, there are millions of stories of joy, resilience, creativity, and success. These stories define the spirit of the continent. Stereotypes build walls and prevent connection. By learning about its history and stability, we dismantle those walls. See Africa as a continent of equals with a proud history and dynamic present. It contributes to the world in every field. Travel with awareness, not prejudice. See fellow human beings, innovators, entrepreneurs, artists, teachers, and parents. Share stories of amazing people, delicious food, and beautiful things. Help the world see Africa in its full, glorious truth. In the end, all the fun facts, travel tips, and stories I have shared come down to one simple, powerful idea. The greatest adventures begin with an open mind. An open mind is the key that unlocks the true heart of any destination, especially one as vast and misunderstood as Africa. It allows you to see beyond preconceptions and embrace the world as it is. Leave your assumptions at home. Traveling with an open mind means being ready to be surprised. Africa will surprise you with its modernity, delight you with its humor, and humble you with its ancient wisdom. Being open to these surprises is where the magic happens. This journey is an opportunity for a profound education, but most importantly, it is a chance to learn about yourself. Africa has a way of holding up a mirror to you. Go with curiosity, respect, and humility. Go and find your own Africa. The adventure of a lifetime is waiting for you, and remember to pack an open mind.